What's up, Solar Warriors? My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual Solar Pro, and today is Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and share this with your fellow solarpreneurs. I would just like to say happy Thanksgiving week to my Powur family. Jonathan, what's up, brother? How are you?
Boom! We're here
Hey!
in Las Vegas, Nevada. Number one mentor, Tier 3, Luis Perez. We got Jeff Hugh in the house, Chris Brunasso. We have a couple days of wellness retreat, working, pickleball. We had what did we have last night, guys, for dinner? Steak dinner, Harlow's? Steakhouse at Harlow's, little caviar, little Louis the 13th, and yeah, we're going to get a day in of work today and then head back to SoCal tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So we have a lot to be thankful for, but just here hanging out. Lewis closed the deal yesterday on the phones, making it happen.
Wait, man. All I got to say is a TFTI.
You were here a year ago this week, but now I had to bring in some other people.
No, for sure, man. No, I love seeing my crew, my boys out there, man. Miss you guys. And yeah, we'll be hooking up here soon. I'm thinking a Powur Hitters Vegas retreat is overdue. Maybe we can plan that, put that in the cards here coming up soon. Yeah, some Zen, right? Some hiking, some fresh water, you know, how we do it in Vegas, right? Some breath work. Absolutely, man. Cool, man. Well, let's kick this off. It is Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is 48 hours away. I just pulled my turkeys out the freezer a couple days ago. They are slowly, safely defrosting. Going to be ready to do a homemade brine here tonight. So they're going to be soaking up some goodness over the next 48 hours. I'm smoking one and I'm deep frying one. And this one getting smoked is going to be spatchcock style. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but it's very cool where you cut out the back spine, lay it flat, cooks evenly, nice smoke ring. Beautiful. Going to do a maple bourbon glaze on that puppy. So yeah, anyways, pretty excited. Thanksgiving. What's that?
You clean your shotgun in between cooking, or do you raise the flag up during, or how do you work it out?
Yeah. I'm usually, cleaning out my pistols, my rifle, sipping whiskey in between meals. You know how we do it in North Idaho, bro. Got to get some. But no, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. It truly is. It's where family gets together, right? Friends get together. I've always had like an extended family, so people come flock to our house. It's a great day of celebration, eating great food, great drinks. Football's on. This year's special. The Niners and the Seahawks are throwing it down on Thanksgiving night. So I'm really excited and thankful for this holiday and for my Powur family. So I think this would be a great opportunity to kind of share what we're thankful for as a team and as a company. And yeah, I'd like to hear from some of you guys. So Jonathan, let's start off with you, dude.
Yeah, let's do that. Before we kick things off to some of our special guests and the people we're interviewing today, just a friendly reminder, because we are going into the holidays. And that means that some of us take vacations. That means that some of the cities are shut down for permits, inspections. That means that we get some weather and some rain events. So just be mindful, these next 2 to 3 months often comes with a little bit more delays on those things than usual. And also with Powur Calendar, you can see here that some of the trainings due to the holiday week will be canceled or postponed. So just be mindful of that. Obviously on Powur Calendar today, our team training here. And then some of the market development meetings or the product partner meetings have been canceled this week, guys, for the holiday. So it looks like Nevada today is postponing. Most market developments are postponing for the following week. We'll make sure Rachel see if she's going to do a TPO lease PPA training as well. But always a great resource, especially for those new people, powurcalendar.com. And with the holiday here, you could just see a lot of the trainings will be postponed until the following week. And next week on Monday, 8 a.m., we do a hour of mindfulness meditation. We do a little breath work and some other positive trainings as well if you want to start your week off right. So that's a quick little update. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and start things off here with a little gratitude. I'll get into that and then we'll get to our guests. But when we look at the dashboard here, you know, this is really nice because it has updates here like Power Play, our welcome gifts that are now automated if you want to send those to your clients. Make sure to get least PPA TPO certified. And if you want to do on-demand site surveying, make a few dollars that way. We even have a blog. You could buy a book, Selling Solar. Whatchamacallit, the guy who wrote this book, Daniel Housen, is in charge of training for all of Powur Hawaii. So a bunch of good updates here. And I'll do a quick shout out to this
Shout
month.
out to that revenue stream, bro. Holy smokes. Hey, real quick, before you move on to that, you just glazed over something that I was not aware of. Did you say that the gift baskets are now automated, that you could set that up automatically to go out to your clients?
Yes, these welcome gifts, they're awesome. Cutting boards, blankets, impact reports, and you can set it up so that it automatically gets sent out, I believe. Someone put in the chat if I'm wrong here, but I believe they did add that feature recently.
Is it just like an adder on the proposal, or how do you set that up?
I mean,
because if so, I mean, I know we talked about, but that's awesome.
Yeah, I would like to opt into the automated welcome kit. I'm aware that I'll be charged on my Stripe account. So whatever credit card you have for your membership, when it reaches installation, and then you can choose which kit, and it breaks it down right here. Deluxe, Culinary, Cozy, Impact. I mean, guys, if even 10 of these earns you one referral, is it worth it? 100%.
100%. 100%.
Definitely, yeah. There you go. Sign up for the automated welcome kits. And a few quick shout outs. Joel Gossett, man, follow him. He's crushing it in Florida right now, making it happen with 9 personal deals. And he even has 9 mentor tier 3 deals over here too. So closing a lot of Florida deals. Personal sales though, Victor Orlando, Dylan Bryan, Mac Bryan, Jason William, all with multiple personal sales. That's where it's at. So they have some really good income coming off of that. Always be building the business and recruiting. So Heather, Kobe, David, Chris Brunasso, shout out to Chris, Eric, John Bobness, and Spencer on the team as well. Shout out to all you guys.
Did you just skip over Virtual Solar Pro?
Sorry, Jarrett's enterprise corporate account, Virtual Solar Pro, the man, the treadmill man. Shout out for 3 recruits, only 20 days into the month. You got 3 recruits on the board. That's where it's at, guys. If you bring in a recruit and you're a tier 3 mentor and you're coaching them, training them, you're helping them close that deal, you're getting 50%, you're getting some passive income. That's just one of the many income streams that we can do here. So good job, Jarrett. Oh. And then tier 3, of course, Joel, Lenny, Orlando, Stewart, Craig, Daryl, Lenny, Brian, Eric Goldstein. Love that guy. He's really doing well. But if
Eric's awesome.
If we go to tier 3 all year long, who's that? Jared. Oh, who's that?
It's my Louis boy.
Perez, the man, the myth. Hey, you're paying for dinner, Louis, tonight. All right. All right, guys. So that's a few shout outs. And one thing I want to scroll up here to show you. So I'm gonna just say one thing. And I think I mentioned this last week, but the team, you know, we're installing multiple installations as we speak today. So we are at 5,500 installations, and that's only in 3.5 short years. That's a lot of you, Jarrett, a lot of Luis, Jeff, Chris, everyone, Cynthia, Pauleo, Matthew, Tiffany, all of you guys
JC,
yeah, all the leaders, Anthony Bonilla, Jordan Shaw, And of course, many of you are on other teams, and that's beautiful. But just one team, one of the legs in Powur, has hit 5,500 installations. So when you look at the homeowners helped, the carbon sequestered out of the environment, the income that we've made, and saving homeowners money and getting tax credits. I mean, it's honestly kind of surreal. Like when I think of that number and what's achievable in such a short time, and that's just a testament to you guys all, like truly. I think that all the income streams and all the lives we've changed, and so many of you taking care of your families and buying homes and vacations and things we've never done before, leaving our jobs and being independent and having freedom, all with this model in 3-4 short years. And guys, what I'm seeing this company do with all the amazing smart executives, they are honing into scope of work and change orders right now. It's going to be laser focused in a few months on the adders and the costing and the approvals and the project confirmation. They're even working on letting us schedule the site survey when we sell the deal. So soon to come. Stay tuned in a few months for that. So there's a lot of enhancements, making every single thing a task with a follow-up date and an owner. And this is the estimated completion. We're only 3-4 years in. Other companies are 11, 15 years in. And once we hit those few things in the next few quarters, guys, like it's game over. Like we will be the best platform, paying the most money out of all other companies and giving our customers the best price. So just, again, big shout out to you all. 5,500 installations is just so much gratitude and thankfulness for what we have this week. All right, that's all I got. So we can go ahead and move to some amazing interviews, unless Jarrett, you had some more to share.
No, man. I mean, dude, you pretty much nailed it. I think, this will be recorded and uploaded onto YouTube for those, were wondering, but you could just play that back during Thanksgiving dinner when it comes to your turn to talk about what you're thankful for. I think that would play out just fine. No, I'm thankful for this platform, for all of you. I mean, this has really become like my family. You guys, the Powur team, my team members, people on other teams, us getting together, the community, the leadership, the vision of this company, pun intended, right? The freedom that this platform allows us. It's unlike anything out there, and we're truly blessed to be a part of it. And so I'm extremely thankful and count my lucky stars to be part of this amazing journey and ride. So
wild ride, brother.
With that said, I think we
would
like to hear from.
Why don't you kick it off with Tracy? We'll do some like newer people to the platform, and then we'll go to some seasoned people, but I'll let you interview Tracy, Jarrett. Let me go ahead and spotlight the two of you and go ahead and take 5 minutes and let's learn from an amazing person right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Right. What's up, my dear? Hello, Tracy.
Hey,
hey, thanks I appreciate you coming on here and, going to share with everybody, but I can tell you how thankful I am to have you on this platform, on this ride, this journey with me. For those that don't know, Tracy and I go way back. Since we were 14, 15 years old, getting into trouble together. Man, good thing that social media wasn't around back then and things were recorded and put on the internet. But
everyone would see your long hair.
Oh, we're not going that far back. Holy smokes. Yeah. So, but Tracy, you're coming up not quite a year, what, maybe 10 months or something like that. I think, well, no, you started in March. In March. So what is that? 8 months. I mean, in 8 short months, you've had a tremendous amount of success, tons of growing, adding this platform to your already successful book of business. And I'm proud of the leaps and bounds that you have made with our company growing. Why don't you talk a little bit about that journey and, how that's been and your successes and where you're at?
Yeah, so many of you might know, but I've been doing architectural design for about 20 years now. And since COVID happened, I got into doing a lot of residential versus commercial. And I found the need that, because I'm doing ground up homes, new ADUs, that my clients are in need of solar. So one day I was like, I called up Jared and said, hey, how easy is it for me to get my certification? He's like, I got you. And so he took care of me, got me onto the platform, told me about Powur, realized how Powur really wants to kind of change the world and what we do and offer as a give back. And that really made a big impression on me as a designer itself. So I found the need that my clients needed a solar consultant to work with. So now I'm kind of doing it hand in hand, building ADUs and permits for my clients, and then offering them a solar package as well. So pretty much with my journey, it's now I'm kind of 50-50 with doing architectural design and being a solar consultant. I got to meet a lot of new realtors, a lot of contractors that are looking to kind of onboard. I got to do my first show not too long ago with Andrew McAllister, your brother, which was amazing. We got 6 really great solid leads already in the books right now. So I'm doing those presentations. But I also want to really say, I couldn't have done this without Powur and their support team. I mean, Chris Collier, Owen, Nick Lee, John Bomness. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, Jason from Sizing Matters. Sizing Matters is phenomenal. All of them have really reached out to me and tried to really help me throughout my journey, and I couldn't have done it without them. And of course, my mentor, Jared McAllister as well. But yeah, I couldn't have done it without the support of the Powur family, and I'm really grateful to have you guys to have my support and have my back through this journey.
Awesome. Thanks for, I mean, yeah, it's been killer to watch you do this. You are becoming the new construction queen, right? That's what you're lasering in on. You found your niche. It's for a contractor like you in California, solar, it's mandatory in California, right? New builds, it requires it, Title 24. It just makes so much sense. And when you reached out to me, I was like, Tracy, I got you. This is a no-brainer. And you just grabbed the bull by the horns. You went to our first virtual Powur World right there, like that weekend, within a couple days, all 3 days. You signed up, went down to Mentor Factory by yourself, not knowing anyone, right? Went down to Powur World in person. And you've just totally embraced it. And the hard work is definitely paying off. And all those names that you mentioned are great leaders within the company, and none of them are on your same team. But Powur is a selfless community, right? We're all about helping each other grow and become successful and thrive. So shout out to everyone that you mentioned. And I love you, and you're my girl. And yeah, I'm so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished.
Love you too. Thank you for bringing me to the platform.
Hey, Tracy,
got it.
I have one follow-up question, if you don't mind. That event, tell us about that. Where did you come up with the idea, the thought of having a table or booth at an event? What did you kind of put on the table? Did you have someone help you? So there was 2 people. Was it one day? Like, give us a few little nuggets on booths and events, because that's been part of my strategy. And it sounds like you had a successful event.
Yeah, actually, John Bomness, I saw his event that he showed all of his pictures, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. That looks like something I could do. I'm very familiar with home shows being a designer. So I found one in my area, which is in Santa Clara, not too far from me. And then I talked to Jared. I'm like, oh, who can I bring on? He's like, bring my brother on. So I called up Andrew, got him involved. So it was him and his wife that were helped. So we had a team of 3. We did a little spinning wheel where we had prizes from Marketing Boost. Marketing Boost was a really great gifts that we can give, whether it's a vacation or a gift card. People really seem to be engaged with that. We also had free toys for kids. And then we had some bags. So I had some power bags made up for, because I figure a lot of people at shows need bags because they're just carrying stuff with their handfuls of all the goodies that they collect. So why not have that be an advertisement for ourselves, or have a power bag? We also had some air fresheners to give out, but and we didn't have a whole lot set up. We had just invested in one of the big banners and a tablecloth. But we were out there and just making us noticeable, and I felt like that was the key to really drive people in. Also, because it was a home show, a lot of people are doing new constructions for that area, and I was given some knowledge about new construction builds and why not get solar in at the start so we can really dive into details. And that's what I kind of crave, is get into the detail work of how the solar can be placed in the new construction.
Awesome. And was that one day long, and how much was it?
It was 2 days. It was 12.50 for both days. It was from 10 to 8 and then 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Great.
So they're nice long days. Yeah.
I love those, Tracy. And hats off again to your patience in pursuit of even new construction, new builds, because some nationwide companies don't even bother to start until they can get on that roof and get on site. And at Powur, we need to keep refining the process. So we'll chat more in the coming weeks, but from the designs to the CAD, to the layout, to the permit, and trying to get those in, there can definitely be some challenges or delays. So hats off to you pushing through, persevering through that. And I've done a few new builds myself, and it's definitely a really good niche to focus on. So
yeah, and in the area that we were, I mean, I'm looking at homes minimum 500,000 square feet. So
5,000.
Oh, sorry, not 500,000, 5,000 square feet.
We know what you mean.
5,000 square feet home. So I have 4 new projects that are over 5,000 square feet. But
wow.
yeah, so those are exciting, and so they're big projects. And
That's
then
awesome.
yeah, meeting with Jason and sizing his matters, just because they don't have a bill. We don't have a bill. We don't know what to go off of. So I've been working with him to really help dial in what the system size would be.
Wow. Awesome, Tracy. Not even a year in, and you're super knowledgeable, doing events and booths, staying positive. Obviously with Jarrett as one of your leaders, you're in good hands. So yeah, thanks again for sharing, like Jarrett said.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So next up, I think we will go to someone else that's pretty new to the platform, and then we'll move on to Owen, and then we'll go to Emmett and John after that. So I want to make sure I sang this right. Melia. Let me see if you can come off Zoom. Is it Melia or Melia?
It's close. It's pretty close, and it's a good try. It's pronounced May, like the month. Leah. It's a Hawaiian name, so the E is pronounced like an A. That's where the accent is. So it's Melia.
Melia.
I did not know that.
If I told you my full name, you would be like, okay, I'm not even gonna try.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
What we got?
My full name is Melia Pohakalehua Ha'ikamakani King.
Wow.
I love that.
Which is why I'm so happy about Hawaii opening, because I have family over there.
Wow. Well, I'd love to hear a little intro story where you're from. But guys, I just want to introduce someone. A lot of you have seen her face, seen her social media, because she's getting out there, right? She's positive. She's posting on social media. She's getting behind an Enphase combiner box. She had her first installation recently. She hit up a few other people. She was going into some real estate offices. You even made an effort to go to headquarters the other day, and then you were even at RoofCon, I believe. And like, I'm pretty sure, guys, she's only a few months in. So talk about taking massive action. Talk about the first 15%, all these different rules and principles, how just hitting the ground running, going all in, and even having the know about to post on social or to post behind a combiner box and just continue those drips. I mean, that requires a little bit of business savviness and sophistication. And So a lot of us, I think, just have admiration, Melia, for what you're doing. So if you'd like to take a minute and just do a quick intro on yourself, maybe where you're from, and real quick how you got here today and how long you've been with the Power.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for asking me to share. It's a huge honor when Jonathan Brunasso reached out to me, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm new here. So thank you so much for asking me to share a little bit. And yeah, so I joined Power. I was working a full-time job in property management, which I hated. I don't know if anyone else has had experience in property management, but when you live on site, you get all the calls. So fire, floods, deaths, domestic violence. I was the one that would get the calls 24 hours a day. And so I was working in the property management job, and I was looking for something I can start part-time and kind of work around my schedule because I had a really busy schedule. So I actually joined Power in like the end of May, early June, but I didn't really do anything but just got through my tier 1 training certification. I did that in my first week. And then it was kind of like, I want to learn everything. I was one of those people that came in and I was like, I want to learn everything before I go talk to people because I didn't want to sound stupid. I didn't want to sound incompetent. So I was that person that spent a lot of time trying to learn everything from the beginning rather than going out and taking action. So I actually joined Power in, let's call it kind of like June. It was end of May, early June. And so I eventually started to get into action, call people that I know that are homeowners. I went through the business plan that Power lays out, and it's very clear cut. If you haven't gone through that business plan, this is a perfect time of year because we're setting the stage for 2024. So highly encourage everyone to do that business plan. I did that, and I realized I'm the one that sets my own priorities, right? Like money, wealth, success, I get to determine those priorities. But another thing that popped up, and especially being around Thanksgiving, was I had to prioritize my relationships because that's really where I started to get my footing in Power was through my relationships, contacting homeowners that I know, contacting people that I know, going through my warm market that I know, and building those relationships and genuinely coming from a place of maybe I can help you, maybe not. But it's this new thing I'm excited about. And so let's just run the numbers. Another thing is be new. I got really comfortable being new and just referring to the tier 3 mentors. Just like Jarrett McAllister says, just like Jim Bunch says, focus on one thing, that laser focus on one thing, and just get really good at that. I was that person that I went door knocking and then I did this and then I did that. And then I just was kind of scattered. So laser focusing on being new and just building those relationships and getting a bill. The rest, don't worry about it for now. And then plugging in when I was able to plug into the market development meetings, into the Zoom meetings. So I started to do all this part-time. And then I couldn't get the days off work to go to Power World, which was the convention in San Diego. And I was already miserable at my job and I already wanted to quit. And now I started building all this momentum on the back end or on the side with Power. And when I couldn't get vacation time approved to go to Power World, I decided then to put in my resignation. So I quit my job to go to Power World. And I showed up by myself because the person that introduced me to Power is not that active in the community. So I showed up by myself. I got my own place to stay, and I just showed up to Power World. I sat in the front. I shook hands. I made connections with a bunch of the tier 3 mentors. Fabian, who ended up helping me a lot with my East Coast projects. I met him at Power World. Joel Gossett helped me with a lot of door knocking techniques. So I really plugged in with the leadership that I met at Power World. And when we took that expo, I made the decision that nothing's going to stop me from pursuing this 100%. So from Power World, which was the beginning of September, to now, I've really been 100% into Power. And the most important thing was I had to set my schedule because it's so easy when working from home to just stay in my pajamas. So set a schedule, have a morning routine. I've read a lot of books. The Miracle Morning is now my morning routine where I am very intentional about how I set up my day. So all these things, I mean, I know I'm sharing a lot and kind of going on a long time.
Keep going. You're great.
Hitting
But
all the points. All the questions that we would have asked, you're already just hitting them.
okay. But these are all the things that really help me, especially in the beginning. And I'm still new. I've been full-time in Powur for 2 months. And you're right. I did go to RoofCon. I'm following the leadership. I went down to corporate, following the leadership. I'm really taking advantage of the Tier 3 mentorship program that Powur has built in. None of these mentors are on, I'm not on any of their teams. I've seen Tracy at the Sizing Matters with Jason Latique, and he's helped me tremendously with all of my California projects. So really like plug in. I can't say enough. Plug into the Facebook, plug into the market development, plug into the trainings, plug into the masterclass. Like all the resources are here laid at our feet, and it's just a matter of picking it up and using them. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
I have two more questions, and that there was so much there from like new tips for new people, what to do, activities you took, like what you did before this. Now I know you had an installation lately, and you went there, you took pictures, you brought food. Like walk us through like how you even knew to do some of that stuff and what you did, and like what was a takeaway from your installation? Did you go to a few neighbors? Like not a lot of people know how to really work and install, and I think you probably did pretty well on the first one. So just walk us through some of those things.
Sure. So this installation was the first project that I had in my first deal. I don't like to say deal, but the first one. So this was my first install. And so a few weeks prior, coming up to it, I actually went out door knocking the neighbors all around. And like I had mentioned previously, I worked with Joel Gossett to come up with a good door knocking script that was personal to me, that I can hook and, ask questions. So all of these things, right? There's different key points to that. I've done all these John Bobness trainings on door knocking. So I did the whole neighborhood and invited the neighbors to the installation. Even did their proposal right there on the doorstep. So I was very involved with the neighbors as much as I could be. When I went out door knocking, a lot of people didn't answer because it was a weekday, it was business hours. So, and then as far as the installation day, actually, Jonathan Brunasso, you are the one that recommended I bring something to the install team. So I got Noah's bagels and cream cheese and coffee, and I showed up with stuff for them, and I introduced myself to the install team and got to talking with them, and I got to take pictures with the panels, and it was just one of those days where I got to show up as a solar consultant for Powur and just represent our great company. The homeowner was ecstatic. She couldn't say enough good things about the install team. She speaks Farsi, and they were able to communicate fluently, so she felt comfortable. She said they were clean. They stayed really late to finish the job in one day. They actually stayed until 8 p.m. So I didn't stay the whole time, but I did go there and, ask if there's anything that they need, if I can bring them anything, give them the bagels and cream cheese and coffee. And then the neighbor never did end up making it to the installation, but it was a great way to re-engage with him. Like, hey, just touching base, we had this installation, blah, blah, blah. So kind of re-engaging and having that touch point there, because I had already preset that conversation when I was on his doorstep the previous week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Knocking before an install happens, and then day of install knocking again, and then even probably circling back again and bringing gifts and taking pictures, getting conversations. Man, tons of nuggets. Some people are loving your energy. So last question in a few sentences, what does 2024 look like for Malia King?
Ooh. So by next Power World, my goal is to have 10 solid people on my team. 10 Jonathan Brunassos or 10 Jared McAllister. So I've been sharing power in a way that, I mean, obviously a lot of people have been laid off. So there's a lot of people looking for something. There's a lot of big power hitters. And if I can share what I've been doing and maybe get them plugged into the leadership and mentorship, my goal is by Power World 24 to have 10 solid people there with me. As far as installation, my goal for 2024, I've onboarded a big enterprise who has been sending me a lot of leads. It's a roofing company. So we're going through their database. I worked with Melissa Dawson. She has a whole email campaign. So onboarding more enterprises, because I find that's the easiest way to start working on projects. And you have more of a in connection with the homeowner. So I have a enterprise I'm working on onboarding in Pennsylvania. They've already started sending me projects on the East Coast. So Pennsylvania, Ohio. So 2024 is like, I have to hone in on my specific goals, but 10 solid teammates,
Awesome.
just really growing this really big. So my goal is to have 3 to 5 installs or 3 to 5 projects every month.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Leah,
I just wanted to say something really quick. Malia, you just came on the scene on fire, right? All of a sudden my head spun back. I said, who's that girl? Right? She's crushing it. And your social, I mean, it's very impressive. You're at all the meetings. You're plugging in, which is key. I tell people, step 1, plug in. And you've definitely plugged in. Step 2, take action. And you are an excellent action taker. I'm very impressed. Like when we talked about doing this meeting, you were one of the first names that came to mind. It's like, we got to get her on here to kind of showcase your success, your energy, and just to show like anyone can do this. But it takes doing the right steps, plugging in, taking action, and very impressed with you, young lady. So keep it up. You have a huge 2024 ahead of you.
Thank you. And then one last thing I do want to mention, Melissa Dawson has made this Energize app, a free version. And so I was having a hard time keeping up and keeping organized with all the people that I've had contact with or was going to circle back with. So if you don't have a CRM, I highly, highly recommend that, because I've been able to keep more organized and track everything that I'm doing through the CRM. I upgraded to the pro version because I use it so much, but there is a free version. So for anyone that's new and you don't have a CRM, you can try out that Energize app.
Very cool.
Thanks for sharing that.
For your time and for sharing all the nuggets with everyone. Look forward to see what you're going to do end the year out and next year, Malia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Malia.
All right.
Malia, not Malia. Malia.
Yeah, with an A.
I like that. I will not try to say her full name, though. I would look silly, but it's beautiful. I love that.
All right. Next up, before we get to Emmett and John, but this gentleman is really shining as a leader. He's got years in solar, so he's a little bit more tenured than our prior 2 guests, which are crushing it. But Owen, just hats off to you and your leadership, your positivity, your mindset. You just bought a house. You have a beautiful family. And you just stay resilient in your mindset. You're focusing on some lead gen right now. And this is someone that I trust with a lot of my referrals. There's multiple people, but lately I've been giving Owen some of my referrals to close some of my deals as well, guys. So Owen, I'd love for you just to do a quick intro for those of you who don't know you, and a little bit of maybe gratitude or mindset, right? So tell us about your boy, the house, and how you keep your mind right. But thanks for
Right.
being here.
I'll start with two. I'm from an island as well. I'm from Ireland. Parents came here when I was really young. I don't have a long name, but it's weird because it's 75% vowels, and that's pronounced Owen. Just forget the E, it all makes sense. I was actually kind of crazy timing today for gratitude was that I've hit the 500,000 mark with Powur so far, that I finally hit today.
$500,000.
I want the jacket. That's my ultimate goal. And so we can wear them on our snowboarding trip someday while we snowboard. I don't know if that's disrespectful. But you know, hearing some of these new folks, I love to hear these stories and like think back on my first install. And just when I joined Powur, I actually went from tier 1 to tier 3 in a month. So I really hit with high momentum. And kind of my philosophy is kind of coming with a chip on my shoulder. I don't want people to think I'm great. I'm just going to prove I'm going to prove everybody wrong was my mentality. And that worked really well, but now I've humbled out. Some of the things I'm grateful for, like the best things of Powur is just the new people I've met. Jarrett, Jonathan, I have Mike Patterson, who I message frequently. I have Jordan Shaw, who I message frequently. Each person, the way I see it, has skills and ideas and philosophies that I can learn from, like reading a new book. So that's what I really love is the connections within Powur. This has been an amazing year for me. I got 2 children. I got a 3.5-year-old, a 1-year-old, and I just bought a house, which is crazy. You might hear my son in the background now. So it's been really cool. One of my favorite things about Powur is the education, not just from other professionals, but just knowledge base. There's the Enphase battery training, which even if you don't plan on selling Enphase batteries, that's a separate entity that you can learn from. Our meetings have people from Enphase and SolarEdge and the loan companies, and that was never provided to us with the other companies that I work for. So what I always say is like, even if the education, you may think it might not bring you income immediately, expand your brain and your knowledge. That is going to make you the best money and most successful on this company. Once I became a tier 3, people started tagging me and bringing me deals. And we just, teaching the philosophy of taking care of your clients and not making it a money grab. I think that's really worked well for the people I brought on. BNI would be another one. And then
networking for those that has added to your $500,000 of income for a lot of people that may seem far away. But yeah, has BNI helped obviously add to that income for you? And how long have you been in it?
I've been in BNI about 1.5 years now. I think I've got 7 deals out of BNI. So that was really good. And then I work with the realtor. So the cool thing about BNI too, is you learn from these other industries. I can know what a realtor's language is and what they're looking for, mortgage lender. So BNI is not just about the money. It's about the education and becoming more well-rounded. Knowing what a realtor wants, and then you can provide that, and getting into their circle is also being able to speak their language. So that's another critical point with BNI. If anyone's in a BNI, or this may seem repetitive, there's credibility, visibility, and dependability. And same with Powur. If you're just going to be a solar ninja, as Jarrett McAllister calls it, and not let the world know you're doing solar, no one's going to come to you. You need to let the people know you're doing solar, you're hungry, you want to work into it. Otherwise, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, which is the same with BNI. When you join your BNI, get involved, do one-to-ones, meet as many people as possible. We were at SolarCon this year, really fun. Bradley had the best quote I heard is, you make money by shaking hands. The more hands that you shake, regardless if you thinking them not giving you a benefit, that includes other solar professionals. We don't need to be enemies with other companies. Just be cool, be humble. If you're jealous of other solar companies, maybe you're just jealous. Just be cool with everybody. That would be my mindset.
Don't be a hater, be cool.
Yeah.
It's easy for Owen to be cool, man. He's one of the coolest dudes on the platform. And yeah, that's a great tip. It's like, be cool to everybody, because you don't know where they're at their time in life, right? They're part of the journey. and you being cool, being supportive to no matter what they're doing. Who knows, at some point, unfortunately, like what we're seeing in the industry, a lot of smaller solar companies are downsizing or laying people off, and they see you've been that constant, cool professional, always supporting them. They might reach out to you and say, "Hey, man, what do you got going on? I like the way you're doing things." And obviously, you emulate that, Owen. So very cool.
I think the reality is, Powur's for me. Powur's what works for me. There's other companies that maybe that works better for them, and that's just competition. That's just the way the economy works and the way businesses work. I would say some people are just good at just go do what you need to do and be told what you need to do. This is a platform for entrepreneurs, and the real ones. That's why I say I love the connections that I've made, because I'm talking to other entrepreneurs that are happy to talk to you and learn from, and vice versa. I will end with the note that enterprise is going to be the best next thing. We just opened 2 enterprise installers. So from my experience, I've learned how to talk to installers. I've learned what problems they run into. So when we're going into a meeting, just like a sales meeting with the homeowner, I can point out and figure out their problems and see how enterprise can provide that for them.
I got enterprise guys. Yeah, take notes. And just like Leah said, on enterprise as well. But and one more thing. And just to say again, $500,000, guys. I mean, I'm sure it was a mixed bag of personal deals, mentor deals, a little revenue share. You're dabbling in everything. One thing I admire about you, Owen, and often new people, sell their 3 deals and 1 or 2 can take 9 months in PG&E, and they're like, "This is crap. I'm never doing this again." And they just don't know solar. They don't know the reality of this industry. They haven't been around the block. They don't have the right mindset or expectations. So you're up in PG&E most of the time. MPUs, large systems, meter spots. PG&E will shut off someone's power. They'll take forever to get back to a quote. Some of your municipalities struggle. Throwing a battery mix, and we're talking 6 to 9 months sale PTO average across nationwide companies. And so how do you kind of set the expectation for a new seller mentee or for a homeowner to face the music? And you're strong and resilient and positive throughout. And I know it's 2 or 3 jobs out of 10 is going to be crap in solar for my 9 years of experience. So what are some of the expectations or tips you recommend for a mentee or a homeowner, Owen?
Right. So one thing, I don't know, Paul Leon's on, he did the MPU training. I'd say if you're selling in PG&E territory, you need to understand MPUs, just get a basic understanding, and then set the expectation with the homeowners. Say this is one of the hardest territories to work with. We're Pacific Gas and Electric. We put down, they put lines down together. So just like if you think about Edison, they run electric all one place, the gas is on the other side of the house. PG&E put gas and electric next to each other. So you need to sell not just the solar, is that you're selling safety, that we're upgrading your infrastructure and making a safer home for you. And this is construction. This could take 5 months, but there's also times where this is construction. It could be sooner, it could be longer. You really need to set the expectations and say, this is just what's happened along the line. You'll be very happy at the end of the process. If it's a cash deal, remind them you don't pay until we're ready to install. I mean, just $1,000 deposit. Same with the loans, same with the leases. So reminding them that the money is not coming down and the prices are outrageous. Look, we're going to find a solution for you, but it might take a while, but you're going to be getting away from I've seen now 44 cents per kilowatt hour in some PG&E territories.
What's funny about what you just said? It's like PG&E, gas and electric. They installed gas and electric to your home together. But then when you want to upgrade your electrical panel, they go, "Wait a second, you guys, you can't have the gas near the electric. We're going to have to move that." Right. And you wonder why projects take 6-9 months in PG&E territory.
If you think about the construction as a construction business, I mean, we can hate on them all they want, but they're their own entity. If you're building a new house and you only have to build 1 trench for gas and electric, this is in the 70s.
Sounds good.
Why would you build 2 trenches, right? Why wouldn't you put them next to each other? So it's not like it was intentionally done. I know I have my own conspiracy theories. It's kind of lazy, but from a business perspective, you can't really hate on it. And that's another thing too. Don't just hate on the utility. I always say I hate the suits at PG&E because they employ a lot of really good people. And if you slam on PG&E, you might be talking about somebody's uncle or brother. So take a step back before you hate on the utility, because they still employ a lot of people, and not make them the enemy. Right. The ultimate goal is, let's get this fixed, and we just hate suits. Everybody hates suits. That's why we don't wear suits. Okay.
Love it.
Right.
Thank you, Owen. We appreciate you, brother. Keep shining bright. End the year out strong. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and unless it's $1 million jacket suit, right? I mean, we'd rock that one.
Hey, yo, there's a lot of nuggets there, guys. Shake a lot of hands. Don't like suits. A lot of great stuff here. Well, we're going to bring up our two guests to take us home, probably with some of the most tenure and experience in the solar industry, really good friends of Rick Joseph and Tom Cotter. Special request to be on here. And this gentleman I'll introduce, I'll let him take the stage. He's no stranger to these things because he was an executive director for Sunrun many, many, many years ago. He has deep connections and ties in the REC space. He knows everyone in solar. He's owned his own solar company and organization. We met many years ago in San Diego, and we just saw each other again at Powur World. And what I've noticed in the last year, probably after he saw my income, I'm not sure, but you have been plugging away in all the meetings and all the power hours. You have been supportive. You have been putting on Facebook. You've been recruiting. You are stealing people from Freedom and the other big companies out there. And it's just awesome to see you lead. It's inspiring as another leader for us. Emmett. So Emmett Summers, everyone, welcome. And I'll let you introduce John and just share some gratitude, thankfulness, what you're seeing right now in the industry. Emmett, we'd love to hear your perspective as well.
Appreciate you putting the oldest guy on this call last. So thank you. Tracy, Malia, and Owen, you inspire me. I'm 52 years young, 4 kids, 3 grandkids. I started in solar 20 years ago. Didn't take a salary for a year, sold that company for a lot of money. And then somehow, some way ended up at REC, was the VP of sales there. We were bought by Sunrun, we went IPO. Since then, life happens. Cancer, you got to take care of your parents, your kids and grandkids. And the thing I love about Powur the most is the freedom. That I can do whatever I want, whenever the heck I want to. The first thing I'm going to say is thank you to God. Second, thanks to Rick and Tom for pulling me out of retirement. They used to work with me, for me actually, a couple of times, and they inspired me to come out. The second is attitude of gratitude. Jonathan and Jarrett, you are both amazing. When I think about the quotes, it's really simple. It's leaders don't hate, they collaborate. And Jarrett, I picked up an atomic habit from you. Every time between a meeting now, I got 8 or 10 a day. I get up, I do my calisthenics because I can't do this whatever your cardio thing you're doing. Too old for that, but thank you. And JB, the way that you've modeled leadership, the way you've created the culture, you cannot explain that in a book. So that's my gratitude to start out. I also want to thank folks like John Dix, who's come on board. 3rd month, I've already been on leaderboard 2 months in a row. When Jabari and Aaron were the only 2 people in the DMV, which is where I'm focusing now. Even though my family's in Cali, I'm really focused on being off the DMV. It was like 5 or 6 people in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Now we're up to like 40 something. We are the force, right? And I got to give it up to Aaron and Jabari for doing that work as well. So in terms of thoughts, yeah, real simple. I'm going to read a couple stats out to you. And if I'm not wrong, hey, JB, correct me. I think you posted something about David Goggins. He's your neighbor, right?
He is. He's running right here. Stay hard.
Who is he for people who don't know?
He's a Navy SEAL. He's shattered many like marathon, triathlon, ultra marathons. Navy SEAL, wrote a few books.
Yep.
He's broken the
New York bestseller, Can't Hurt Me.
Multi-millionaire, whatever, right? So he's changed millions of lives, and that's what we do. Solar is like the way we do it, but he's changed millions of lives. So I was listening to a podcast this morning after Rick told me last night I got to be on this call for you, so for us. But anyway, I'm listening. He goes, it's supposed to be hard. And he quotes this. He goes, 90% of fund managers do not beat the market. 90% of fund managers do not beat the market. Wow. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Okay, I've had two, so I can relate. 1.6% of college football players make the NFL. 1.6. And if you look at the numbers on Powur, less than 5% make it to tier 3 and stay there. So part of what got me out of semi-retirement was John and all the JBs. Rebuild the culture. The Powur platform is just a device, right? We're the one that creates the ecosystem around it. And that's the key. So mad props to you, Jared, Jonathan. I mean, I admire you. You are making me young again for some reason, and I appreciate it. And you have our full commitment. I ate the purple pill.
Hey,
Convention. Get to convention. That's all I got. Want to head it up to John if you don't mind.
yeah, Emmett. I think Wally's keeping you young because you're going to go visit him in the Philippines. You guys are really tight too. Yeah, John, why don't you, if Emmett or John, you want to introduce yourself, let us know how you guys know each other and a little bit of where you came from or solar and how long with Powur. That'd be great. Thank you for being here.
Well, first of all, huge honor to just be invited on the call, obviously through Emmett, but never imagined I'd get the opportunity to actually be on a screen with three legends in Powur all at the same time. So somebody take a screenshot for me right now so I can whoop, whoop. And huge thank you to you, Jonathan. I planned on doing this when I met you in person at some point, but huge shout out to you for just investing in the platform, in Powur, and ultimately in people that you don't necessarily personally know, but we watch, we learn, we investigate, and you're a part of that. Anybody who is looking to get on Powur is going to watch something from your channel. That's just the fact of the matter. I didn't know anybody in Powur at all, and went on my own research journey, and you were a big part of that. So huge props to you for investing in people that you've never met, never know, and being a part of their success story. So that's a really cool thing. I hope that brings a sense of fulfillment to you and your entire team.
Thank you, John.
Spent the last 24 years in the Christian leadership arena, local church, nonprofit, overseas. Did a lot of traveling and building into people. Recently moved from the West Coast to the East Coast. Jonathan, you were at Claremont the other day in my hood. So we're on the East Coast now, my wife and I, and loving it over here. I randomly reached out through one of the multiple channels on Powur, and my first conversation with somebody on Powur was Rick Joseph. I had no idea who he was, but that dude was insightful. He listened. He pinged me over to Emmett by the end of the phone call. And before I knew it, I was on a phone call with Emmett and onboarded onto his team. And it's been amazing. I think for me, Jonathan, the thing that I'm most grateful for is to be a part of a company that is for you from the start. I mean, it's just remarkable. Somebody said to me the other day, when you're at the bottom, there's competition, but when you're at the top, there's collaboration. And I just think so far, my experience on this platform has been nothing but collaborative. And people investing, answering questions, pouring in. Obviously, there's monetary considerations based on what team. I'm not trying to discount all of that at all. But I am saying in general, I have found it to be an incredibly positive, giving, nurturing, for you kind of environment. And so if somebody's watching this for the very first time and they're coming from a company or a situation where, they're always competing for the sale, or they're always competing for time, or they're always like, man, say goodbye to that and say hello to freedom. My father taught me a long time ago, at the end of the day, we're going to be judged not by what we take in, but by what we give out. And I truly actually believe that. And so, man, this has been an incredible experience. I'm 8 weeks in, 9 weeks in, something like that. And look at me, I'm on a phone call with Jonathan Brunasso. I mean, come on, how much better can it get?
Mike's on the leaderboard, John, but I'm beating you in recruits this month.
Yeah, listen, I had no idea I got partnered with this massive legend called Emmett Summers. So it's all good. We're going to build something big out here, and it's going to be great.
I love everything you said, John, and I appreciate the kind words. And I think that's one of the best values of our leaders here at Powur is the giving in the community. And I've always been of the mindset that you work hard without expectation, and you will get and earn from that work. Someone will tap you on the shoulder, and when you put out that value and you just give without the expectation, you will receive tenfold. So I've always been of that hustle and mindset, and it's just such a pleasure to have other leaders and have you guys on here. I want to ask one question before we wrap this up. What would be a few tips, tricks? I mean, a few weeks in, it sounds like leaderboards, sounds like you got some leads or projects. What were a few activities that you did just to kind of scratch the surface, get going, like calling your warm markets, your leads, your prior connections? And you were in SoCal, now you're in, East Coast. What did that look like to get off the ground?
Yeah, I'll let John do the mic drop. And again, gratitude is the greatest of all virtues. Actually, it's the parent of all virtues. So for me, it's always starting with gratitude. If you look at the people who have made it here or in any company in your life, or even without a company, there's a shit story behind them. And I really believe that. The second tip is always have a wingman. If you're going, or a wing woman, if you're going into a pitch, have somebody in there. My trainee, my friend, my partner. Not going to a pitch by yourself. How are you gonna get feedback? Right? Those are my 2 tips. So hey, JB and Jared, I can't thank you enough. I think you wiped out 10 years of my life. I feel like I'm 43 instead of 53 now.
Look great.
Just gotta have more kids and grandkids now because of you. So thanks.
Right on, man.
But JD,
Super
answer the
appreciate
question.
that.
That'd be great. And I am blessed to have met you, sir. Right? We just started.
We're just getting started.
Go ahead, JD.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just getting started. I will say, had I launched with Powur on the West Coast, I had a full network, right? Everything was right there. Probably would have been a little bit easier. So it's been a little hard, Jonathan, I think, on this side. So some very practical things. For me personally, I'm an extrovert. I'm a visionary. I'm an optimist. The discipline to stay focused on the training pieces instead of just trying to do stuff has been really helpful for me. I personally think that when you use language like I'm trying to do this, it has built-in excuses. But when you train, it has built-in habits that will result if you're doing the right thing. So I'm trying to stay really, really focused on building a foundation for a big team that we want to develop out here on the East Coast and honestly around the world. I'm looking forward to Powur continuing to expand beyond just the USA. The people that you've already had on here, man, they hit it out of the park. Are you joking? Just the little stuff, right? Like showing up to the install. I've got an install next week in Arizona, and that's brilliant. Like just bringing coffee, bringing donuts, celebrating it, walking around the neighborhood. I've got another partner that's right outside of Tucson that's probably going to do that for me. But so those are some, I don't know, stuff like that, Jonathan, is helpful for me to. And I guess the other thing I would say too is just, being inspired by other people is a double-edged sword. It's helpful for me to hear the stories of those of you that have been on the platform a long time that are really successful in all the ways that we talk about success, but you didn't get there overnight. And I think just recognizing that these little habits, like the Atomic Habits book is a great book, right? Because it just illustrates listen, if you just improve one tiny little bit, this is how much it's going to be in a year. This is where you're going to be in 2. This is where you're going to be in 4. So just keeping that in mind, being inspired by all of you and what you've been able to accomplish, and recognizing that there's a process to get there. And if you work the process and you're humble and you're grateful and you're generous, you're going to get there.
Amen to that, John. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's not rocket science. It's just the little habits every day and the discipline to want it and overcome. So yeah, great wisdom, great words. Thank you both again, Emmett and John. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you
Yeah,
soon.
seriously, thanks.
Happy
Thank you guys. You guys are both rock stars, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to both of you, and our families to yours. All right. All right, everyone. Well, that concludes our training today. I know we went a little bit over. I can't wait to share this recording with everybody, because there was some serious nuggets and wisdom dropped from all of our speakers, from a few weeks into the platform to a few years in, and everywhere in between. So that's all for now, Jarrett.
Yeah, no, that was great. And that was inspiring to me. Every single time we get on these calls, you know, you think you know it all, right? But you see people from all different backgrounds, all different types of lives that come onto this platform, and they share their journey, they share their success. You learn something new every single time. And I think there's a common theme, man. It's the community. The community here at Powur is unlike any in the industry. It truly is. And if I just give one more nugget for someone new, someone looking to get this thing started, it's plug in. We have tremendous leaders on this platform that are successful and are selfless and are willing to give themselves to help you become successful. All you got to do is plug in. And then take action. Don't forget taking action. That's step number 2. It's pretty important, but plug it in. So, hey, Jonathan, I'm grateful for you, my brother. I'm grateful for all the Powur Hitters team. I'm grateful for this platform. And yeah, I appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't stuff yourself too much. But yeah, this is going to be a great week. And I look forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday after the break. So with that said, we'll wrap this up. Thank you. Another Powur Hitters training. Peace.
Bye, everyone.